Hello everyone, welcome back to Forum Chess Club. So today we are going to see one of the hardest puzzle of all the time. So this puzzle, came to an existence in the year of 1987 when it's been circulated in one of the Swift chess tournament which is held in Brussels. So that one puzzle which we are going to discuss and analyze today end to end. So watch till the end of the video to learn something out of this puzzle. So before we get into the puzzle, we can first analyze the materials and the position for both white and black. So for white, if you look at it, white has a bishop which is there in the light square, and also has a knight, and it also has one pawn which is blocked by its own knight, and it also has one more pawn which is about to promote it to other major or minor pieces. So that's all about white. It has a very less pieces, and if you look at the structure of the pawn which is there to promote, it's also not that commandable position. But if you look for black, it has 4 pawns out of 4, like 2 are there in a commandable position, like it can promote it to major or minor pieces at any time, and also at the same time black has 2 knights and a bishop which is there in the dark square. So compared to white, black has more material, and at the same time, the structure-wise, position-wise, it's being a little stronger. But unfortunately, white is going to destroy the desire of black and going to do a checkmate. So that is what we are going to see today. So stay tuned till the end of the video. Now white to move. So before move, let's analyze what are the various options white have. So now the bishop which is there in light square, it can go to c2. And it can have a check here, and the knight which is there in g4, it can go to f6, and now it can have a check here. And we also have a pawn which is there to promote, so d7 to d8, and it can promote to either queen or what are the pieces is, and then it can develop the game further. So these are all the 3 options available now. So let's see one by one. So now consider if they are promoting the pawn d7 to d8. And it can promote it to queen, then it is a trap. So there is a trap here. Now black can play 7 and it's a check, and it can take the queen. So obviously promoting the d pawn now at the moment is not that ideal. It's not that good. So if at all it promotes now, then obviously they will be losing the pawn which is about to promote. So now instead of promoting it to queen, if at all it promotes it to knight, of course now it won't fall in trap, because if it goes to knight f7, then obviously we can take the knight into knight f7, knight into knight. So obviously they won't play knight f7 check, but again there is no significance of promoting the pawn to knight at this time. Instead of moving your pawn to queen, what else will be the better option? So we can go for the second option, which is knight. So you can play knight f6, you can develop a check here. So now, like we have multiple variations. One is it can go to h8, or else it can go to g7, g6. So let's see one by one. So for now, if it goes to king h8 now, then it's an easy job for us. You can directly promote your d pawn to queen now, and it can develop a check. So in response to check, it has to go. The only legal move for black now is g7. So for now, you can have knight h5 check. So in response, if it goes to h7, then you can play your bishop to c2. So it's a checkmate. But yes, if at all you don't need to develop your bishop to do a checkmate, then you can develop your queen to e7, and you can produce a check. So now in response, if it goes to g6 to attack your knight, if at all you take your bishop, then obviously one more check, which is queen f6 check. So in response, it has to go to h7, and again a checkmate, g7 checkmate. So it could be somewhere, if black misses some variations, then you can able to do an easy checkmate. But coming back to the position, when you play knight f6 check, instead of it plays king h8, instead of playing king h8, if it goes to king g7. So let's see this variation as well. In response to king g7, white can play h5 and can produce a check. So now if it comes to g6, then you can play bishop c2. It's a sacrifice move. You are going to sacrifice your knight now. So it's a first. So if it takes king into h5. Then now we have to do some strategy here. The thing is, we have to pull away the knight which is there in g5 to somewhere away from this square, and you have to pause your king to closer to the black king, and then you have to do some strategy to mate with your bishop. So that's a plan which you are going to do now. So in order to do that, you can go for you can promote your d8 pawn to queen now. So now obviously they will go for a trap. It's a check, f7 check, knight f7 check. So now again, play your king wisely. So go to e6. So now it will go to d8 and it's a check. So now place the king to f5. So it's a very sensible square, because black has a bishop which is there in the dark square. So it's always good to place your king in the light square. And unfortunately, the black king which is there in the light square, and it is actually trapped a bit, because it can't go to this square. It is controlled by the king. It can't go to here. These three squares controlled by the white king, and of course this square which is controlled by the pawn. When white plays f5, and if at all black plays something else, for example, if it goes to knight f7, then you can able to see a checkmate here, which is bishop d1. It's a checkmate. So obviously they won't go for they won't play this knight to f7. So instead, once after we played king f5, they will go for e2 to avoid bishop coming to d1 square. So it can't come to d1 square now. So our ultimate aim here is, we already trapped the black king somewhere, somehow here, but we have to produce a check with your bishop. It can be somewhere by placing your bishop here, or placing your bishop here, somewhere. You have to place your bishop and you have to do a checkmate. So now, if it, since they have moved their pawn, e pawn to e2, you can't think of coming to d1 square to do a checkmate. So instead, now what you can do is you can go to you can develop your bishop to e4, and then you can think of coming to f3, or else you can think of also going to a4, and then from here you can go to e8 and do a checkmate. So now we can see, we can analyze all the cases. Consider if it goes to bishop a4. So if it goes to bishop a4, then it is a bad move, because now black can develop e pawn to queen. Now you can't you can't place your bishop to in e8, meaning the queen can capture the bishop. So obviously bishop a4 is not a good option. Instead, if it can go to e4 now. So if it goes to e4, no matter what they develop, for example, if they develop their e pawn to queen, then you can simply go for check, and it's a checkmate. So obviously they won't go for a queen here. Instead, they can go for a knight here. So now they can promote it to knight. So because if it is knight, then you can't place your bishop here, else they will be captured your bishop. So next strategy what you can do is, if you look at here, you have to come back to this d5, then c4. Again you have to come to e2. So now you can produce a check here. So this is one way. This is one other way. So you have to strategize in that position now. So now you can place your bishop to d5. So in response, if at all it plays c2, now you can place your bishop to c4. So now also the same thing happen if the black develops the pawn to queen, then it is a checkmate. Like bishop can come to e2 and it's a checkmate. So instead, to control this particular square, obviously black has now have to develop that c pawn to again a knight. So now it can't come here. So again you have to use the same strategy. You have to go back to b5, come to a4, and then come to d1 and produce a check. So let's see how we can come. So b5. So in response, if black plays somewhere maybe this pawn to attack this, because again the other motto of playing your knight to c7 is now bishop can't come to e8 square and do a checkmate. So to avoid this checkmate and also to attack the bishop, black has just played c7. So in response, you can come to a4. So if black plays knight f3 to defend the check, so you can come to d1. So there's no other option for it can delay the checkmate. So you can can come to e2, so you can capture the knight with your bishop, and then if it plays something else, then also you can do a checkmate here. Show bishop into f3 and it's a checkmate. You must witness the beauty of the bishop which we moved. The strategy which bishop took place. It's one important thing which you have to realize, because coming back to the position where the bishop was there initially, which was there in c2, it actually came to e4, and then it goes to d5, then it came to c4, and then b5, then a4, and then it came to d1, then captured the knight which is there in e2, and then captured the knight which is there in f3, and finally it made a checkmate. So this is a wonderful checkmate you might have witnessed, because for black it has a more materials, and the structure wise it's a little stronger, but still it is defended by the white pieces, which is just a bishop. Hope you enjoyed the puzzle. I will come back with another puzzle. Thank you for watching.